Well, money and the economy are one of the things that are front of mind for most people these days, and that's why we're very happy to launch a new monthly segment here at noon focusing on your financial health with financial planner Kristin Afelumo with her planning. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, we're so glad you could join us. So the big question, how can families prepare in case, we do go into a recession?
So it really comes down to getting back to the basics. And the number one thing I recommend for families is to take control of your cash flow. So I know a lot of people think about budgeting like they think about diets. I really like to think about it as meal prepping or making a plan. So just make a plan and be intentional about how you spend, but also, especially for my clients that have a lot of complexity in their planning, make sure you understand what money is coming in. Especially important if you work in an industry where you get commission or your earnings are variable. So what comes in and what goes out.
As far as budgeting, is that something like people should set up and, just in case? What would you say about that?
Yes, so definitely set up a budget. There's tons of free tools. I have a tool. If you reach out to me, I can give you access to it.
And what are some resources that maybe people at home may be wondering, I don't even know where to start? What would you say?
Mint.com is a really popular older tool that you can use. Web-based, you put your budget in, it sends you reminders when you're getting close to the limit per category or when you've gone over.
When people think about preparing and doing better financially, what are the biggest challenges they face that maybe you suggest may help them if they get in a pinch during this process?
Honestly, the biggest challenge is getting started. Lots of people just don't want to face the cash flow issue.
Of course, let's ignore it, pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and that doesn't typically work in my experience. So just taking the step of getting an understanding of where your money goes, I'd say is the hardest part.
Okay, talk a little bit about paying off high interest debt. What would you say about that?
Next step after you've got control of your cash flow is to pay off high interest debt. I like to say that high interest debt is anything over 6%. I also think psychologically it's helpful to pay off the things with the smallest balances first, just to give yourself some wins while you're in the process.
Before you go, I did want to ask you one thing, a little bit about savings. What's your suggestions for that?
Okay. Debt's paid off, we need to save for an emergency.
Yeah.
I find that there's a lot of great places to get a high interest rate on your savings right now. So if you look online for a high yield savings account, or even at your local bank, they may have some options for you. But once you've got the debt paid off, consider putting aside money until you've got 3 months of your expenses saved up. That just makes you feel a little more confident in the world. And as a recession looms, you feel a little bit better about spending the money you need to on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, some great information there. Thank you.